The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve.
Yes, indeed.
The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Every day, millions of women all over America serve Parquet margarine because it tastes so good.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine means.
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Well, it's Saturday morning, and that means a late breakfast in the Gildersleeve household. The great man has consumed a hearty meal, topped off by 3 waffles. He daintily pats his lips with his napkin, loosens his belt a notch, and leans contentedly back in his chair.
Oh, do you want that last waffle?
No, you can have it, my boy.
Thanks.
Leroy, don't stab at it. You're not harpooning a whale, you know.
Okay. Unky, aren't you going to the office this morning?
No, Marjorie, not much use going down for a half day. Besides, I have a few things to do. Get my suit pressed, shoes shine.
That's right. You do have a date with Adeline Fairchild this afternoon, don't you?
Well, it's not exactly a date. She's just having me over for tea.
Tea? My, how elegant.
Yeah. Just an old Southern custom, I guess. Mailman.
Okay. Hey, can I have a quarter to go to the movies this afternoon?
We'll see.
They got a swell western with Tex Gillum, the singing cowboy.
I've heard of him. He sings through his nose.
Can I go?
I suppose so. Any mail for me, Bertie?
Yes, there's one letter for you. Looks like them Easter seals you get every year.
Oh, yes. Well, mustn't forget to send them a check. Everyone ought to buy Easter seals. Wonderful way to help all those children who need it.
Yes, it sure is.
Is there any more mail, Bertie?
Well, there's one more letter, but it's not for you, Miss Gildersleeve.
Is it for me?
No, it's just one, and that's for Leroy.
Leroy?
That's right. Here you are, Leroy.
Gee, thanks.
I don't know who it's from, but it sure smells nice.
It's addressed to Master Leroy Forrester.
Oh? Who's it from, Leroy?
Gee, I don't know. We'll open it. Oh, let me see it. No, you can't.
Marjorie, we don't read other people's mail. What does it say, Leroy?
Nothing, Unc.
What is it, my boy? You can tell your old uncle.
Well, it's just an invitation to an old party next week.
Well, that's wonderful. Who's giving the party?
Oh, a new girl at school, Helen Moore. She's a pest.
Now, Leroy, I'll bet she's a very nice little girl.
She's a pest. She's always hanging around during recess trying to talk to me.
She's probably just trying to get acquainted.
Who wants to get acquainted with girls?
No.
Girls are pests.
But, Leroy, that party sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm sure you'll have a good time.
I'm not going to her old party.
What?
Who wants to play a lot of sissy games? Blind man's buff, pin the tail on the donkey.
There's nothing wrong with that, my boy. I used to enjoy playing games when I was a boy. Especially post office.
And then I want to dance. I'll have to go gliding around the floor with some giggling little twerp. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
1, 2,
my
3.
goodness.
I won't go.
Now, look here, Leroy.
It's no use, Unky. He's hopeless.
I'll handle this, my dear. Leroy, I think it's time you change your attitude about these things. Acquired a few social graces. Going to parties is good for you. Teaches you to get along with people. You don't want to grow up to be a hermit and live off in a cave somewhere.
I'd rather live in a cave than go out with girls.
Ye gods.
Just because you like girls doesn't mean I have to.
Leroy. You're going to that party.
I don't want to go.
Well, you are, and I don't want any silly argument.
I'll go off and live in a cave.
Leroy, you may go to your cave. I mean, go to your room. And you'll stay there all afternoon.
But you said I could go to a movie.
Well, you're not going. By George, it's time you learned a little discipline.
Oh, Unky, you don't have to be so...
Never mind. Go on, young man. Up to your room. March.
I'll go off and live in a cave. That's what I mean.
Children. morning, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do? My, if you don't mind my saying so, you look a little down in the mouth.
Oh, well, I had a little trouble with Leroy this morning. You know, Peavy, raising children is a trial sometimes.
Yes, I guess it is. Of course, I wouldn't know. All Mrs. Peavy and I ever raised is a parrot. Polly has given us a lot of joy, though. I'll never forget how proud we were when she first learned to talk.
Okay, Peavy.
Her first words were, Polly wants a cracker.
Peavy, Leroy is no parrot.
No, I guess he isn't. What kind of trouble have you been having with him, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, some little girl invited him to a party, and he refuses to go. Guess I was a little harsh with him. But he exasperates me, Peavy. He's so stubborn.
Well, maybe Leroy is just a little shy about girls.
Leroy shy?
Well, most little fellows are. I know I was. First party I went to, I was so shy I hid in the broom closet all afternoon. Just came out when they served the ice cream.
Well, if you'll excuse my saying so, Peavy, you were probably an odd little boy.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I wasn't odd at all.
Peavy, I didn't mean...
I was a real red-blooded American boy.
I know.
I used to play kick-to-can, catch pollywogs, and collect McKinley buttons.
I didn't say that.
I was a regular harem-scarum.
Oh, all right.
I'll never forget the time I sneaked out behind the barn and I ate a whole package of chocolate cigarettes.
Yes.
And I didn't even get sick.
For heaven's sake, Peavy.
If you don't mind my saying so, Mr. Gildersleeve, I just don't think you understand children very well.
I don't? What do you think I was when I was young?
Probably a fat little boy.
Oh! Now, look here, Peavy. I don't need any advice from you.
Well, in that case, I won't give you any.
Well, don't.
Well, I won't.
Good day.
Good day.
Yes, Bertie. Where is everybody?
Well, Marjorie went out a little while ago. And Leroy's up in his room.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir, he's still up there.
Yeah, I know, Bertie.
That's where he is, all by himself. Up in his room.
Okay, Bertie.
Been up there all morning. Up in his room.
Yes, sir. Well, haven't looked at the paper yet. Peavy, what does he know about raising children? He and his parrot. Guess I know how to bring up my own nephew. All he needs is a little discipline. Leroy, shy. He's just stubborn, that's all. Why should any boy be afraid of girls? I wasn't. At least I don't think I was. Let me see. Remember the time my father wanted me to go to dancing school? He called me into his study. I can still see him standing there, angrily fingering his gold watch chain. Throckmorton?
Yes, Papa?
I thought I told you to report to Miss Thorpe's dancing school this afternoon.
I did, Papa. But I looked in and then I ran away.
Jumping Jehoshaphat. Ran away? What on earth for?
Well, there were girls in there.
Well, of course there were girls. What did you expect to see? Water buffaloes?
Well, Papa, when they saw me, they started to giggle. And one of the girls said, "Look, here comes Fatty Britches."
Ye gods and little minnows. And blow your nose. Young man, you're going back to dancing school tomorrow.
I won't go, Papa. I won't go.
Very well, Throckmorton, if you insist on being stubborn, you'll stay here in my study until you change your mind.
They'll call me Fatty Britches. Why doesn't Papa understand? Why doesn't Papa understand? Why doesn't he?
That was a long time ago. funny how you forget those things. I remember now how unhappy I was that day. Poor little Leroy. Leroy.
Yeah?
Can I come in, my boy?
You want to?
Hello, Leroy.
Hi, Unc.
What have you been doing, my boy? Listening to the radio, I'll bet.
No.
Huh? Been reading your little comic books?
No.
What have you been doing?
Just sitting here.
Huh? Sitting on the bed, eh? Well, at least it's soft and comfortable. Mind if I just sit down here next to you?
No. If you want to.
Thank you. Well, nice and comfortable. A little squeaky. Well, what have you been doing? I mean, Leroy?
Yeah?
Like to have a little talk with you, my boy.
Okay.
I'm afraid I wasn't very understanding this morning, Leroy.
That's all right.
Grown-ups forget a lot of things sometimes. You know, a long time ago, I was a little boy, just like you.
Weren't you fatter?
Yeah. Well, yes, I guess I was a little, maybe. You know, when I was your age, I felt the same way about girls as you do, Leroy. I was a little afraid of them.
Oh, who's afraid of girls? I just don't like them, that's all. Giggling at you all the time.
That's all right. I understand, my boy. Leroy, maybe I should explain a few things about girls. Girls, my boy, are... Well, they're... girls are... well, anyway, you'll learn to like them when you grow older. I did.
You sure did, Unc.
Well, girls aren't so bad when you get to know them, Leroy. Anyway, I have a little plan.
A plan?
Yeah, now you call this little girl, this Helen Moore, and invite her over for a little visit this afternoon.
What?
Now, let me finish, Leroy. You'll get better acquainted that way, then you won't mind going to her party.
Oh, for corn's sake.
Now, it won't be so bad. I'll stay with you all the time. In fact, I'll drive you over to get her.
But, Unc, I thought you had a date this afternoon.
Well, I do, but I'll be a little late. I'll make that sacrifice for you, my boy.
Oh,
I'm doing this for you, Leroy. I just want to help you. Of course, it's up to you. I don't want to force it on you. If you don't want to call her, you don't have to.
Okay, then I won't.
Yes, you will. You'll call her right now. And blow your nose.
We'll be back with the great Gildersleeve in just a minute. You know, I met Gildy's niece Marjorie coming home from school the other day. Her arms were loaded with books, so I said, "That homework for tonight, Marjorie?"
Yep, got an exam in home economics.
Home economics. Say, did you know that parquet margarine is economical? Why, parquet actually costs less today than it did a year ago.
Mr. Walt, I doubt that parquet will come up in the exam.
Well, it should. Everyone should learn about delicious parquet margarine. It's made by Kraft. It's made from only the choice products of American farms. Tasty parquet is
But I
really...
know how good parquet is. We always use it at home.
Well, then you know parquet is the perfect topping for rolls, muffins, pancakes, and waffles, as well as bread. That smooth, rich, fresh flavor makes it a favorite in millions of homes.
This exam is mostly concerned with nourishment and diet and vitamins.
Vitamins. Marjorie, there are 15,000 units of essential vitamin A in every pound of parquet. Appetizing, wholesome parquet is just as nourishing as it is delicious. Be sure to try it. Millions of women have learned that parquet margarine is the perfect spread. It tastes so good. That's Parkay, made by Kraft. And now back to the great Gildersleeve. Well, this is not Leroy's lucky day. His little admirer, Helen Moore, eagerly accepted his invitation to be his guest for the afternoon. At the moment, Leroy is reluctantly dressing up for the occasion under the supervision of the great man himself.
Straighten out your tie, Leroy. It's almost under your ear.
Okay.
Now turn around. Let me look at you. That suit's getting a little tight as... What's that bulge in your coat pocket?
Huh?
Come here. Let me see what you got in there. A slingshot. Rusty nails. An old doorknob. Oh, my goodness. You're a traveling junk shop.
I'm saving those things.
Well, don't save them in your Sunday suit, Leroy. Let's have a final inspection here. Leroy, when did you get a haircut last?
Well, I got one around Christmas.
Christmas? What year, may I ask? You can't call for a girl with your hair looking like that.
Oh, boy, then I don't have to go.
Just a minute. Not getting out of it that easy. Come on, young man. We'll make a detour at the barber shop. And let's hurry. I've got a date, too, you know.
Hi, Commish.
Hello, Floyd.
Well, Leroy.
Oh, Mr. Munson.
Leroy would like to have his hair cut, Floyd.
Sure. Hop right up in the chair, Leroy. Guess I better crank the chair up a little. There we are. Sit down. Take a load off your feet, Commish.
All right, Floyd, but make it snappy. We're in a hurry.
Okay. How you been, Leroy? Keeping out of mischief?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's good. Going out for the baseball team at school this year?
Yeah, I'm going out for shortstop.
You are?
Uh-huh.
Well, I bet you'll be a whiz. Who you picking in the National League?
Floyd, will you hurry it up a little? I've got an important engagement this afternoon.
Okay, just having a little man-to-man talk. Say, you're kind of dressed up today, Leroy. Where you going?
Well...
If you must know, Floyd, Leroy is making a little social call.
What?
Yes, on one of his little girlfriends.
Girlfriend? Starting out a little early, ain't you, Leroy?
It wasn't my idea. Unc made me do it.
Oh, I thought so.
No, Leroy.
It's none of my business, Commish, but ain't you rushing the kid a little?
Floyd.
You'll have plenty of time for dames later on. Why don't you just let him be a boy for a while?
Yeah.
You keep out of this, Leroy.
I remember when I was a kid his age. Them was the carefree days, all right. Whenever I felt like it, I used to take off and go swimming and fishing. Now I can't even go to the corner for a paper without getting an okay from Lovey.
That has nothing to do with...
What do you want to bother him with dames for? Look how happy the kid is now. Not a gray hair in his head.
Floyd.
I don't want to have gray hair.
For heaven's sake.
You're only young once, Commish. Don't take away his childhood.
Who's taking away?
I want my childhood.
Take my advice, Leroy. Don't let him make an old man out of you. Stay a kid. Blessings on thee, little man.
Oh,
barefoot boy with cheek of tan.
I want to stay a kid.
Leroy.
With your turned up pantaloons.
Floyd.
And your merry...
Oh, I give up. Well, Helen, I'm glad your mother let you come over this afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
I'm sure Leroy will enjoy it, too. Won't you, Leroy? Leroy?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
After you, Helen.
Thank you.
Let me have your little coats. I'll hang them up. You two go on in the living room. We'll just have a jolly time.
All right. Come on, Leroy.
What's the matter with that boy? He didn't open his mouth all the way over here. What a clam bake this is going to be. Why did I... Well, children, having a good time? Why don't you both sit down? Make yourself at home, Helen.
I will, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, what do you two want to do? Shall we play games?
Well,
I know. How about Lotto? That's an exciting game.
well, if Leroy wants to.
That's a sissy game.
Well, we could play hide and go seek. I'll be it.
That's no fun in the house.
House, oh. Well, what do you want to do, Leroy?
I don't know.
Oh, dear. Say, I'll bet Helen would like to hear you play the piano, Leroy.
Oh, Wonk, I don't know any pieces.
I spent a small fortune on piano lessons for you. You ought to be able to play something.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, if he doesn't want to
Nonsense. He loves to play. Leroy, how about that little piece by Bach?
I need more practice on that.
You've practiced it enough. Now go on, Leroy.
Oh.
He plays lovely, Helen. Has a beautiful touch. Leroy, maybe you do need a little more practice. Leroy.
I'll get it. It's coming back to me now.
Leroy, get away from that piano. You were right. Well, what do we do now? Oh, Helen, maybe you'd like to look through our family album.
All right.
It's on a table here. Some cute pictures of Leroy in here when he was a baby.
Unc!
Look here, Helen. Here's one when he was only 2 years old. Didn't he have beautiful curls?
Girl. My, he looks funny.
Yeah. Doesn't he? Looks almost like a girl. Leroy, where are you going?
I'm going up to my room.
No, you're not. You come back here.
I don't want to.
I guess this isn't much fun for Leroy. Maybe you better take me home now, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Home? Well, all right. I'm sorry, Helen, it turned out this way.
That's all right. Leroy?
Yeah?
I'm sorry I didn't get to see you do your magic act.
Huh?
The kids at school said you were a keen magician.
Well, not so bad, I guess.
They said you were wonderful.
I can do a few tricks pretty good.
Well, I hope I get to see him sometime. Bye, Leroy.
Helen.
Yes, Leroy?
I guess I could do one of my tricks now if you wanted me to.
Oh, would you?
Well, if you wanted me to.
That'd be keen.
Don't go away, Helen. You wait here. I'll run up and get my magic stick.
What do you know about that? Women are smarter than men, even at that age.
What did you say, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Huh? I said, have you seen this page?
Oh, gee, that was a swell trick, Leroy.
Yeah, we call that the Japanese hoop trick. A little thing I picked up during my travels in the Orient.
Leroy, don't you think you've done
And
enough?
now, ladies and gentlemen, I have here a deck of cards. Just an ordinary deck.
Leroy!
Yeah?
It's getting awfully late, my boy. I'm sure Helen has seen enough of your tricks. So why don't you take off that blue turban and we'll drive her home?
Gee, I haven't got to the best ones yet.
But Helen probably has to get home.
Oh, don't worry about me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Mother said I could stay here all afternoon until 6 o'clock.
She did? I'd better make a phone call. Excuse me.
Now, if you will watch closely, I will take the cards in one hand and my magic wand in the other.
Oh, brother. Hope Adeline will understand if I'm a little late. Hello, Adeline. This is Throckmorton. Ha. Well, I was thinking of you all, too. Sure enough. Hope you don't mind if I'm a little late for tea this afternoon. I'll be detained for a little while. What's that? The tea is getting cold? Well, I'll hurry. Goodbye. Adeline. Oh, putting your magic set away, Leroy?
Yeah.
Good. Well, let's put on our little coats and we'll drive Helen home.
Unc,
Yes?
Helen and me just had an idea.
Yeah.
What's that?
Will you take us down to Peavy's for a soda?
Soda. But, Leroy, I'm in a little bit of a hurry.
It'll only take a minute.
But-
Helen's thirsty.
But-
And she's our guest.
Well, all right. Helen's thirsty.
I think you've hit the bottom there, Leroy.
Yeah.
So did I.
Well, come on, infants. You've had 2 sodas now. Shall we go?
Unc,
What is it now, Leroy?
Helen would like to go to the movies this afternoon.
What?
Wouldn't you, Helen?
But, Leroy, I told you I have an engagement.
It was your idea. You said you wanted me to get acquainted with the, you know.
I know,
You
but...
said you didn't want me to grow up and live in a cave.
Live in a cave?
You wouldn't want me to do that.
Okay, Leroy, I'll go. But just a minute. I better call Adeline again.
Hey, Tex, which way them cattle rustlers go?
Well, I don't know. I didn't see him.
Oh?
Gee, this is a swell picture, isn't it,
Oh,
Helen?
yes, it is, Leroy.
It's awful.
Come on, Tex. Let's hightail it after them varmints.
No, you fellas go on ahead, Cactus. Reckon I'll just sit here for a spell and play on my trusty old guitar.
Oh, is he going to sing again?
I'm a-leaving San Bernardino, so long, old Palomino.
He looks like a Palomino.
Are the words my
Leroy, haven't you had enough of this?
as he died. And he left an empty saddle when he went to herding cattle.
Herding cattle, that's what he ought to be doing now.
Corral across the great divide.
I'll be back in a minute, Leroy. I gotta make a phone
So
call.
long, old pal.
Where'd all the other fellas come
So
from?
long, old pal.
Excuse me. Let me out, please. So long yourself. Oops. Calls himself a singer.
Popcorn, sir, 10 cents a bag.
No, thanks. Is there a phone here in the lobby, miss?
Phone? Yes, sir, right over there. Popcorn, 10 cents a bag.
Popcorn. Oh, here's the telephone. 5 o'clock. Guess that's tea party. Oh. Hello, Adeline. But Adeline, I'm tied up. Had to go to the movies with Helen. No, she's a friend of Leroy's. But she's only 12 years old, Adeline. You're never going to speak to me? But Adeline... But... She hung up.
Hi, Unc.
Leroy.
Just come out to get some popcorn for Helen. You know what? Girls are really okay.
That's what you think.
The great Gildersleeve will be back soon with something he particularly wants you to hear. Smooth and rich, so delicious you'll want to serve it to the kiddies as a treat. That's parquet margarine. It's the favorite spread for bread in millions of American homes. That fine, fresh flavor makes it the perfect topping for rolls, muffins, pancakes, and waffles, as well as bread. Parquet is made from only choice products of American farms, and each delicious pound is fortified with 15,000 units of vitamin A. And just think, nourishing, delicious parquet costs less today than it did a year ago. It's the better buy for both bread and budget. That's Parkay, parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
Friends, this is National 4-H Club Week. The Kraft Foods Company and the members of our cast send best wishes to this fine group of boys and girls. This year, the 4-H Club theme is Creating Better Homes Today for a More Responsible Citizenship Tomorrow. 4-H Club members all over our country are making their homes places where love, cooperation, and the joys of wholesome living abound. Home, you know, is the first unit of society. And only when homes are what they should be can America be what it should be. Thank you, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It was written by Gene Stone and Jack Robinson with music by Jack Meekin. Special material was by John Greenlee Whittier and Kay Burgess. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, Lillian Randolph, Arthur Q. Bryan, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wall saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Tomorrow night, Cary Grant will be Al Jolson's guest on the Kraft Music Hall, heard over most of these NBC stations. Don't miss it. Remember, tomorrow night, for exact time, see your local paper. And be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Treat the family to that good old American dish, macaroni and cheese, some night real soon. And remember, you can get all the makings in a single package called Kraft Dinner. You'll like the way that special macaroni cooks fluffy light and tender in only 7 minutes. Then you just stir in the golden Kraft grated. The whole family will like the grand cheddar cheese flavor that's in every tempting forkful of Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese. Kraft Dinner is quick, easy, delicious, and economical. Each package makes 4 generous servings. So get several packages tomorrow. Remember the name, it's Kraft Dinner.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of parquet margarine. Every day, millions of women all over America serve parquet margarine because it tastes so good.
To market, to get some parquet. Home again, try it today. You like it, you love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Now let's see what's going on in Summerfield. Long since, the lights of our little city have been blinking out like retiring fireflies. But a light and good fellowship grow brighter and brighter above Floyd Munson's barber shop at the Jolly Boys Club.
Many hearts are asleep in the deep, so beware.
Great. I'll bet you sound like a tugboat in the shower.
Now, Commissioner. Ho, ho, ho.
Everybody sounds better in the shower, huh, Pete?
I wouldn't say that. I take tub baths.
Start another one, Floyd. One with a baritone lead this time, if you don't mind.
But it's getting late, isn't it, Commissioner?
No, let's sing another.
There is a tavern in the town,
No, Peavy, not that one.
Well, here's a pip. Best song ever written.
Dear old girl.
Great.
The robin sings about you.
Come on, Chief.
Dear old girl, it speaks of how I love you. The blinding tears are falling as I think of my lost pearl and my broken heart is calling for you.
Great. You see, nothing like a good song. What's next?
Fellas, I was just looking at my watch. It's after 12 o'clock.
It is. That's all.
But, Floyd, it's early.
Yeah? Well, I gotta have a steady hand with my razor tomorrow. Let's go, Chief.
Oh, for Peavy, you want to sing some more, don't you?
Well, there's Mrs. Peavy to think about. I wouldn't think of staying away from home after midnight.
Why not?
As I say, that's Mrs. Peavy to think about.
A fine bunch of jolly boys, afraid to stay out after 12 o'clock.
Who's afraid? I ain't afraid of nothing.
Then why don't you stay and sing? I don't know why it is, but whenever we start having a little fun, everybody has to start checking in to their wives.
Now, Commissioner, is that nice?
Well, it's true, isn't it?
I wouldn't call it checking in exactly. Speaking for myself, I've had a good time this evening. We've sung some good songs, and we've sung them rather well, and now I'm ready to go home to Hazel.
All right, go to Hazel. Go ahead. Just when things are getting good. I wish the judge wasn't working tonight. He wouldn't go running home at the mere shank of the evening.
I can understand how you feel, Commissioner. No home to go to like Peavy, Floyd, and me.
I have a home, Chief. Don't feel sorry for me.
Yes, but not a loving wife. And that's what makes the home.
Like the poem goes, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, so crammed full of cozy joy and crowned with a woman's love.
What's that from?
The shooting of Dan McGrew.
Nice.
Ever think of settling down, Commissioner Gildersleeve, to the real comforts of life? Getting married?
Now, Chief, I don't need a wife.
I don't know, Commish. When the chips are down, you can't beat women. Man's best friend. Nothing like 'em, huh, Pete?
No, I guess you're right, Floyd.
I guess we're pretty lucky, huh, fellas? And, Commissioner, Any time you'd care to have me introduce you to one of Hazel's sisters...
All right, Chief. Good night, ye gods. Funny. I don't feel like going home at all. Oh, hello, Kitty. What are you doing up this late? Must be a bachelor, too. Go away. Wish she'd stop walking in front of me. And if there's anything in what those old fogies said back there. Now, what the heck? What do I want with a wife? Yet there's something missing in my life. And that something is... Well, a light on in Adeline's living room. Why would she be up at this hour? I wonder if... Nah, a little late to ring a girl's doorbell. So I'll just sing loudly as I pass. Let's see. When I'm calling you, will you answer too? Maybe she didn't hear me. Got rid of the cat anyway. Try again. When I'm calling you...
That you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Hello, Adeline.
Were you calling someone?
Well, I was singing Indian Love Call.
I thought you were.
Southern Indian. I saw the light in your little parlor, Adeline.
Oh, I've had the most frightful struggle this evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Struggle? Who with?
With my income tax.
Oh,
I'd like to ask you in to help me with it if it wasn't so late.
it is a little late, but...
Gracious, I don't know what my little old grandmother in Savannah would say if she knew Adeline unlatched her door for a man at midnight.
Well, I won't tell my grandmother if you won't tell yours.
All right. Come in, then.
Well, all right.
I was just having some coffee. Won't you come into the living room and join me?
Coffee? Well, that would taste good.
You get comfortable now while I pour.
Thank you. I'll just stand by the fireplace for a minute.
Cream?
Just a little. A little more.
2 lumps?
Do you have 3?
There. I hope my coffee's good.
You know, there's something about a woman pouring coffee.
Wouldn't you like to sit down here on the couch close to the coffee?
Well, that would be kind of nice. Cookies, too.
I made them myself.
Oh.
See you now. I bet you're hungry after working so hard tonight.
Oh, no. I was just down at the club with the Jolly Boys. They all had to go home to their wives.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, it seems strange to me that a nice man like you hasn't married.
Well, we Jolly Boys were just talking about that this evening. Marriage.
Oh, what a marvelous topic for conversation. I imagine you have some very intelligent views on marriage, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I didn't really start thinking about it until they brought up the subject.
Isn't that funny? I didn't either, until you brought up the subject. What are your views, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, I think marriage should be looked at very impersonally. Don't you?
Well, that's one way. You have to be practical, goodness knows.
You bet. I think marriage should be faced like the problem it is. Now, suppose that I'm a man and you're a woman.
All right, let's suppose. Isn't this fun?
Now suppose they would like to get married. Why? What are the pros and what are the cons?
Well...
The man would have someone waiting for him when he came home.
And the woman could turn her property over to the man and wouldn't have to bother with old income tax every year.
Well, yes, that would be an advantage to her. Now we have to think of an advantage for the man.
Well, that would probably depend upon the woman.
Did you have anybody in mind, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Huh? Getting a little late. Be nice to talk about these things again sometime. Nice to discuss things impersonally, like you do.
Thank you, kind sir. Oh, here's a cookie crumb on your mustache. Let me brush it off.
Impersonally, yeah. That's the only way to Adeline?
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Adeline, could I... Good night.
What about my income tax?
Income tax? Oh, that. Tomorrow.
All right, and why don't we start a little early?
Good idea. Good night, Adeline.
Good night, Throckmorton.
She called me Throckmorton. By George, Adeline is wonderful. Don't want to rush into things, but I'll bet if I played my cards right. Why don't you go home? Strange. Couldn't seem to put Adeline out of my mind all night. Maybe those old married men were right. It'd be great to be coming down to breakfast in the morning like this. Receive a loving greeting.
Hi,
Leroy. Good morning.
pancakes for breakfast.
Yeah. Cut them up into little pieces, Leroy. You're not a seal.
Don't want to be late to school.
I'm glad I caught you before you dashed off. I did a little patrol duty this morning, young man, and you've been reading comic books under your sheets after hours again.
What?
Don't you deny it. I found 8 dead flashlight batteries under your bed. Now, clear them out.
But, Unc, if you keep them in a dark place, they get a little light back in them.
Don't argue. Clear them out. That's an order. And another thing, young man.
Good morning, Uncle Mort, Leroy.
Good morning, Marjorie.
Look, Unky, the darling new spring dresses at Hogan Brothers. Narrow shoulders, new
Marjorie, please. I'm talking to Leroy. And must you bring the newspaper to the breakfast table?
Yes, why not?
My dear, breakfast is not the place for reading.
What else is there to do? Nothing but man talk. A woman can't get a word in edgewise.
Hey, Marge, let me see the comics.
I'm looking at the paper.
I just want the comics.
I'm pulling you, little weasel.
Children!
Look what you did to the fashion section.
Look what you did to Fearless Fosdick.
I don't know what this house is coming to. I come down to breakfast feeling wonderful, and you two start acting like little savages. Goodness knows I've tried to raise you children properly. But I guess I failed.
Now, Unky, I'm sorry.
Yes, I have. I failed. I've tried to be like a father and a mother to you, but I couldn't be both. So, perhaps there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Get you a mother.
What?
Well, as you say, Marjorie, there's nothing but man talk around here. Perhaps you need a woman in this house to talk to and to plan with, to understand you.
What's you getting at, Uncle Mort?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing. But perhaps I should get married.
Well, for corn's sake.
Uncle Mort!
Now, I'm not thinking of myself, you understand. I'd be doing it just for you children. Careful, young man.
Unky, you're afraid to get married.
Afraid?
Well, you backed out of marriage with Leela Ransom and Eve Goodwin, and you were nearly sued by that Spanish dancer.
Now, Marjorie...
You're just being impulsive, and you know
I am not. Might even talk to the lady about it today.
Oh, who is it this time?
Well...
Excuse me, Uncle Mort, you're wonderful. I hope you never change.
But, Marjorie, I am going to change.
Of course you are.
Well, so long, Unc.
Leroy, haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, congratulations.
Not that. Excuse yourself.
Okay, excuse me. Do I call you Daddy now?
Leroy. That boy. Why is it whenever I think of getting married, nobody takes me seriously?
Mr. Gildersleeve, what's this about you getting married?
Well, sometimes I think I should, Bertie.
Uh-oh. Guess Bertie better be looking for another job.
What?
Ain't no place for Bertie around here if you have a wife to do the work.
Well, now, wait a minute, Bertie. In the first place, the young lady I had in mind isn't a very good cook.
Oh?
Yeah. Anyway, we could never get along without you, Bertie. We hope you stay with us for life.
Oh, that's fine, Mr. Gildersleeve. I just didn't think I'd be staying if there was nothing to do.
But with another person in the house, there'd be even more to do.
That's right, Mr. Gildersleeve. And after a year or so, maybe even more to do.
Yeah. What?
And after 2 years or so, twice as much to do.
Oh, never thought of that.
And after 3 years, maybe 3 times as much to do.
No, Bertie.
And after 4 years...
Bertie, stop!
You're right, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm set for life.
Oh, well. What's wrong with that?
More from the great Gildersleeve in just a minute. Say, that Birdie. The other day I asked her why she always served parquet margarine, and she said...
I buy parquet because I know a good thing when I taste it.
And that's just the way millions feel about parquet, Birdie. That's why parquet is a favorite spread for America's bread. It's a truly delicious topping for rolls, pancakes, waffles, and muffins, as well as bread.
I'll say it is, and I know a good thing when I taste it.
Parquet is packed with wholesome nourishment, too. It's made from only choice products of American farms, and each fresh flavored pound is enriched with 15,000 units of important vitamin A.
The young folks need them vitamin things.
We all do. Another thing, parquet is made by Kraft, and that name means quality everywhere. Still, parquet, the quality margarine, actually costs less today than it did a year ago.
Well, I buy parquet because it tastes so good, and I know a good thing when
I know you do, Bertie. Everyone likes nourishing, economical parquet because of its fine, fresh flavor. Try it, friends. You'll like it. That's Parkay, parquet margarine, made by Kraft. And now back to the great Gildersleeve as he walks downtown with gay and giddy thoughts running through his brain.
I am calling you. Certainly glad I stopped by Adeline's last night. Don't know why I kept things on such an impersonal basis. But there's always tonight. Nice roses in the flower shop today. Say, that gives me an idea. Well, hello, Floyd.
Hi, Commish. Hey, where you taking the roses? Looks like you're up to something.
Well, maybe I am and maybe I'm not. Maybe you old married men set me to thinking last night. A man shouldn't wait forever to take that fatal step.
Fatal is right.
Huh? What's this, Floyd?
Hey, you didn't want anything, did you, Commish? It's nearly 12, and I got to get home to lunch.
Certainly. I want to shave. What's your hurry? You've been late before.
Oh, little Floyd, he better not be late today. Say, why don't you come home to lunch with me?
Lunch? With you? Why?
Yeah.
Hey, you aren't having a little trouble at home, are you, Floyd?
Oh, no. Come on, I'll shave you when we get back.
Not today, Floyd.
Okay. Never been to my house, but if my wife's cooking ain't good enough for you, we'd just...
Well, if you put it that way...
Sure, and let's drive your car. I didn't bring mine down.
Huh?
See, we broke up so late at the club, I told Lovey I got a flat. This morning I had to go out and drive a nail into my new tire to prove it.
Wait a minute. I don't think I better go home with you, Floyd.
Nonsense. Lovey will welcome us with open arms. Come on. I gotta ring the doorbell, Commish. I left in such a hurry this morning I forgot my keys.
Something about this I don't like, Floyd.
Huh?
You sure Lovey isn't still mad at you about last night?
No, Lovey has the mind of an elephant. She can forget.
Yeah. Floyd, I better be going.
Don't leave me now, Commish.
I know, but, hello, Mrs. Munson.
Hello.
Hiya, Lovey. I got a little surprise for you.
Well, it better be a good one, Mr. Munson.
She's a great kid, Commissioner. I brought the water commissioner for lunch, lovey-dovey, playing politics. You remember Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'll say. Well,
Flowers for me?
Well, I had another party in mind.
Oh, I thought so. Anybody around here bring me flowers, I'd drop dead. Wouldn't I, Mr. Munson?
Oh, come on, Lovey, and sweeten up. How's about fixing up some lunch, huh?
Seems to me a man that can stay out till 1 o'clock in the morning can fix his own lunch.
Well, come on, Commish, say a good word.
Huh? You mentioned Floyd being out till 1 o'clock, Mrs. Munson. Well, 1 o'clock isn't bad. I didn't get home till 2.
2? You see what kind of people you're running around with, Floyd?
I was only helping a lady with her income tax.
Come on, Commish. Sorry this had to happen, but we'll rustle up our own lunch. And Mrs. Munson can go peddle her papers.
Floyd Munson, you stay out of my kitchen.
Now, Mrs. Munson.
Lovey, pipe down, will you?
Now, Floyd.
Don't you yell at me, Floyd.
Now, Mrs. Munson.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're a guest here.
Yes, but Mrs.
Yeah,
Munson.
you keep out of this, Commissioner.
What? Floyd, you asked me.
See, now you got her crying.
But I...
Yeah.
You hombre!
What? Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Mr. Gildersleeve, don't you ever darken our door again!
Which is closer, the back or the front door? Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Welcome to your friendly neighborhood drugstore.
Yeah, well, thanks. I'm glad somebody's friendly. Too bad there aren't more happy couples like you and Mrs. Peavy.
Oh?
Hi, George. If I ever get married, peace and harmony are going to be the watchwords in my home.
You're not seriously contemplating matrimony, Mr. Gildersleeve. And I see you're carrying some flowers.
Well, it's always something to think about.
It's a good thing to think about. For quite a while. Nice bouquet.
Thank you.
Flowers make quite an impression on women. Mrs. Peavy's fond of flowers.
Oh.
Nasturtiums, hydrangeas, tiger lilies.
Oh, well, there's nothing like roses, though. Of course, these looked a little better before I went to Floyd's house. Had them caught in the door on the way out.
Is that so?
Yeah. Seems his wife thought he stayed out a little late last night.
Well, it was a little late, but I thought we had rather a gay, rip, snorting time.
Yeah, that's exactly what got Floyd into trouble. But I fixed everything.
That's so?
Yeah.
Everything's all right at the Munson house now.
Well, at least they're not mad at each other anymore. I went over there to lunch and squared things.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you wouldn't care to come home to dinner with me.
No thanks, Peavy. Take her some nasturtiums or tiger lilies. What's wrong with all these married people? Roses look a little wilted tonight. Still be all right if I hadn't spent the whole day trying to get those married men out of the doghouse. Oh, well, little Adele will appreciate him. Wonder if she's been thinking about me today, too.
That you, Gildy?
Oh, hello, Judge.
I presume you're paying a call on Miss Fairchild.
Well, as it so happens...
I see the light in her window, and you're drawn to it like a big fat moth to a flame.
Now, see here, Hooker. I'll thank you to keep your legal beagle out of my personal affairs.
What have you in the big box? Roses?
It's my laundry. And stop sniffling. And stop peeking.
And red roses. You know what they mean to a lady, don't you, Gildy? I love you.
Now, Judge.
Could it be that you're getting serious about this Southern belle?
Don't go jumping at conclusions, Judge.
Well, if you're ever going to settle down, it's high time you did it. Miss Fairchild is an exceedingly gracious lady. Of course, you haven't known her very long.
Well, February was a short month.
However, sometimes whirlwind romances turn out for the best, Gildy.
Oh?
You're the type who would enjoy marriage, sitting by the hearthside evenings, going over the household expenses with your spouse.
Expenses?
Squeezing pennies here and there, rearranging your budget to include some pretty bauble for your beloved.
Not so fast, Judge. Remember, I've got to feed and clothe Marjorie and little Leroy.
Yeah, but when a man marries his wife, must be his first consideration, Gildy. You must forsake all others and cling only to her. But I'm keeping you from your rendezvous with destiny. Good luck, old friend.
Wait a minute, Judge. What are you doing tonight?
Well, I had a game of pinochle set with Chief Gates, but since the Jolly Boys get together last night, his wife won't let him out.
Not Chief Gates, too?
Consequently, I'm as free as a bird. You better go on in, Gildy. Present your poses. It's leap year. She might pop the question.
Wonder if they'd stay fresh if I buried him here in the snow behind this tree. Just a minute, Horace.
Now, Gildy, don't do anything you'll regret.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of. Let's go play pinochle.
The great Gildersleeve will be back very shortly. Have you been missing out on a good thing, friends? Have you missed trying Parquet, a margarine of Kraft quality? Every day, millions of women choose delicious Parquet as their favorite spread for bread, rolls, pancakes, and waffles. Its rich, fresh Parquet goodness makes it the perfect topping for table use. Parquet is made from only the choice farm products, and each nourishing pound is fortified with 15,000 units of vitamin A. Don't miss trying tasty Parquet margarine today. More than ever, it's the better buy for both bread and budget. Just think, delicious, nourishing Parquet margarine actually costs less today than it did a year ago. That's Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
I shouldn't have let you in after the way you treated me tonight, Throckmorton, but if you really were up until midnight with a sick friend, I suppose it's all right.
Well, good.
But I think you owe it to me to tell me who the sick friend was you were sitting up with.
Well, Judge Hooker was my friend, and I got sick of him and came over here.
Oh, you man, I declare. I'll forgive you this time. Now, you wait while I run and get some coffee. Get comfortable now, you hear?
You bet. Gildersleeve, you shouldn't do this. You might learn to like it. Good night, folks. Wonder if I should go get those roses out of that snowbank.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry, Adeline Fairchild by Miss Una Merkel. The show was written by John Elliott and Andy White, with music by Jack Meekin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Tomorrow night, Edward Everett Horton will be Al Jolson's guest on the Kraft Music Hall, heard over most of these NBC stations. Don't miss it.
Old Eddie.
Remember, tomorrow night, for exact time, see your local paper. And be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Most everybody likes macaroni and cheese, and modern homemakers like to make this grand main dish the quick, easy, economical way with Kraft Dinner. In just 7 minutes cooking time, the special macaroni is fluffy light and tender. Then you stir in the Kraft grated for that good cheddar cheese flavor. You get both of these magic ingredients in every package of Kraft Dinner, enough to make 4 generous servings of macaroni and cheese at a cost of only a few pennies more than a package of just macaroni alone. So why not put Kraft Dinner on your shopping list right now?
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous cheese food Velveeta. Everybody goes for Velveeta's rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor in snacks, in sandwiches, and in hot dishes. And hidden in that swell cheese flavor are important nutrients from milk. That's why smart homemakers keep Velveeta on hand regularly to spread or slice and to melt for grand economical hot dishes. Tomorrow, get Velveeta, the cheese food of Kraft quality. Well, it's March, and a chill, blustering wind is blowing through the little town of Summerfield. But in the heart of the great Gildersleeve, there is all the warmth and tenderness of spring. Yes, once again, love has come to our chubby friend.
Dear diary, tonight I have another date with Adeline. What a woman. She's beautiful, charming, intelligent. Well, fairly intelligent. I know I promised you, dear diary, that I wouldn't fall again. But what the heck? I'm only human. Do you want me to tell you a secret? I haven't kissed her yet. But this may be my lucky night. I'll let you know when I get back. So keep your fingers crossed, dear diary. Good night. Good evening, Adeline.
Why, it's you, Throckmorton.
Yeah.
Well, you come right in the house before that wind blows you away.
Oh, thank you.
Let me have your coat now. I'll hang it right here on the hall tree.
All right. Adeline,
Yes, Throckmorton?
here's a little present for you.
A present for me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a bottle of perfume.
Yeah. Do you like perfume?
Like it? Why, I could swim in it.
Well, it's just half an ounce.
Oh, and it's called Spring Madness. Why, you little devil, you. You know what I ought to do? I ought to give you a great big thank you kiss.
Well.
But I won't.
Huh?
You'd think I was just being forward and bold.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, yes, you would now. Well, you just sit down while I put this perfume on my doodad shelf.
Almost got that kiss. Well, it's early yet. What would you like to do tonight, Adeline? We'll do anything you say. It's up to you.
Well...
We could stay here, sit by the fire, but it's up to you.
Well...
Nice and cozy here, just the two of us. But it's up to you.
I guess we could stay here already.
Well, if you insist. Shall we sit here on the sofa and talk?
Well, I'd just love to, sir.
Well, here we are. Don't you want to move a little closer?
No, I don't.
Then I'll move closer to you. Adeline.
Yes?
Would you like to play a little game?
Well, that depends. How do you play it?
Well, you just sit here and I put my arms around you like this.
Yes?
Then you close your eyes.
Yes? They're closed. None of your Yankee tricks now.
Now you say prunes.
Now, Throckmorton, I know what you're up to.
Oh? What's that?
You're just trying to steal a kiss from me, aren't you, now?
No, kissing you is the furthest thing from my mind.
Well, I declare.
Huh?
Am I that unattractive?
Unattractive? Why, no.
I'll have you know that down in Savannah, men used to cluster around me like bees around a magnolia blossom. But, of course, if I don't appeal to you...
But, Adeline, you do appeal to me. You're lovely.
It's too late to try to sweet-talk me now, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. You've revealed your true feelings in the matter.
But, Adeline...
I guess men are all the same. I thought they might be different above the Mason-Dixon line. Guess I never should have written that letter.
What letter?
To my old beau in Savannah, Cecil Revenall. I told him all about you.
You did?
Indeed, I did. I told him that the heart he broke was mended, that I'd found my Prince Charming in the form of a public official.
Well, just a water commissioner.
Of course, then I thought this certain public official cared for me just a teeny-weeny bit.
But I do care a teeny-weeny bit.
Well...
I mean, a lot. Adeline,
Yes?
you're always on my mind.
Oh, you're just saying that.
No, it's true. I think of you all the time. At home, down at the office. Why, I see your face on every water bill.
That's sweet, Throckmorton. Well, maybe I did misjudge you.
That's all right. What the heck? I'll forgive you if you'll just give me a little kiss.
Well... I guess it's all right. I know you're different than Cecil.
Cecil, sure, that cad.
I beg your pardon.
The way he treated you, he must have been a pretty worthless character, all right.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I won't have you talking that way about Cecil.
Huh?
After all, he is a southern gentleman.
What you said?
Now, don't try to twist things around. Cecil may have had his little weaknesses, but he did have elegant manners. Why, I never knew a man who could bow so deep from the waist.
Well, I didn't...
And you should see that man ride. Why, he looks like he's part of the horse.
I'll bet he does.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I won't have you talking about Cecil Ravenel II behind his back.
But, Adeline...
Gentlemen, don't do that where I come from.
But...
Sir, I'll thank you to remove your coat from my whole tree.
But...
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Good night, southern gentleman.
Breakfast?
All right, Bertie. I'm coming.
Hiya.
Good morning, Leroy. Where's your sister?
Primping up for school, I guess. You know girls, Unc.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time at Miss Fairchild's last night?
Pass the cream, Leroy.
Okay. Gee, you sure got home early last night. How come you got
If
home?
you don't mind, young man, I'd rather not discuss the matter.
Oh, I get it. Love trouble, huh?
Leroy, eat your breakfast.
Morning, everybody.
Hi.
Good morning, Marjorie.
Oh, my oatmeal again. Oh, Unky,
Yes?
did you have a good time at Miss Fairchild's last night?
For heaven's sake, is that all anybody could talk about this morning?
Well, pardon me. What's the matter with him?
Ugly, I'm afraid.
I heard that, Leroy. Speak English.
What happened to Love's Young Dream, Unky?
Marjorie, there are things a gentleman doesn't discuss. Let's just consider the whole episode a closed book. In fact, I'd be just as happy if I never heard the name Miss Fairchild mentioned again.
Morning, Miss Gildersleeve.
Morning, Bertie.
Did you have a nice time over Miss Fairchild's last night?
Ye gods! Huh? I don't want to hear any more talk about Miss Fairchild. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Please don't mention it again.
I won't. You don't have to tell Bertie more than once, because I listen.
All right, then.
Yes, sir, I listen. When you talk to some folks, it goes in one ear and out the other, but not Bertie. I listen.
But, Bertie...
How do you think I keep this house running? By being a scatterbrain? No, sir. When somebody talks to me, I listen.
Of course you do.
Nobody has to chew that cabbage twice with me.
Bertie, I didn't say...
Miss Gildersleeve, do you know what I do when somebody talks to me?
Yes, Bertie, of course.
That's right, I listen.
Oh, what a morning. Morning, Bessie. Any mail this morning?
Yes, sir. It's on your desk. Do you want to go over the water reports now?
After we open the mail, Bessie. First things first.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let's see here.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, there was a telephone call for you.
Huh? Who was it?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Bessie? Let's be a little businesslike around here. Who phoned?
Miss Adeline Fairchild.
Oh, she did.
Her number is Summerfield 44.
I know her number, Bessie. And if she calls again, I'm not in. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Miss Fairchild is a thing of the past.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Quite all right. As Kipling said, south is south and north is north, and never the twain shall meet.
What's that?
Miss Fairchild and I have different ideas, Bessie, that's all. She wants a man who can bow from the waist.
Well, maybe if you reduce a little.
She probably called to tell me she's sorry, but it's too late. It's water over the dam. I'm just going to have to forget, Bessie. Just going to have to bury myself in my work.
Well, it is piled up pretty high.
Oh, yes. Well, it's all over and done with. Let's face the new day, Bessie. Let's get on with...
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Zook.
Hello, Miss Fairchild. We were just talking about you.
Bessie. Well, what is it, Miss Fairchild?
Throckmorton, I just have to have a word with you.
Well, I'm rather busy.
Can't you spare just one little minute?
Well...
You great big executive, you.
Well, maybe just for a minute. Bessie, you may go out in the other office and file the water reports.
But, Mr. Gildersleeve, the file's in here.
Huh? Well, you'll have to work that problem out for yourself. Let's be on our toes, Bessie.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is it, Miss Fairchild? Is your water service unsatisfactory? What's the matter?
My, you act just like a grizzly bear behind that desk. Growl, growl, growl.
Adeline, Miss Fairchild, kindly state your business.
Throckmorton, I'm a fool.
Well...
Yes, I am now. Having words with you over that no-account Cecil Revenant II, that hand-kisser.
But, Adeline, last night you said...
I know. I must have been out of my mind comparing him with you, a public official, a head of a water department.
Well, water is pretty important.
Of course it is. I drink gobs of it. Throckmorton, I'm just a teeny-weeny bit worried about something.
What's that?
Well, I got a letter from that silly Cecil this morning, and do you know what he said?
What?
He said he didn't want any Yankee like you fooling around with his girl. Imagine that, calling me his girl, just because we were engaged for 15 years.
Ridiculous.
Be just like him to come traipsing up here looking for trouble.
Come up here?
Yes, he's such a hothead.
Yes.
Mr. Gildersleeve, are you very handy with a pistol?
Well, Huh?
In case there's a duel or anything.
A duel?
Well, Cecil's an expert shot, and I wouldn't want you to come out second best.
Come on. Oh, my goodness.
But look at me, chattering away here. You probably want to get back to your work.
Work? But, Adeline, wait a minute.
Now, I won't take any more of your time. I know your head's just chock full of water reports and things.
But, Adeline...
Don't you worry now, you hear?
But... A duel?
For you cooks who are serving Lenten meals, for all of you who are trying to keep the food budget in line, and for you mothers who sometimes have to feed the gang after a basketball game, here's a swell recipe. It's for Velveeta Welsh Rabbit. Easy to make, economical, and lickin' good. But what's more, Kraft's famous cheese food makes it a fine, nutritious main dish. Here's all you do. In the top of the double boiler, melt 1/2 pound of golden, delicious Velveeta. Then add 1/4 cup of milk, salt, pepper, a dash of dry mustard, and Worcestershire sauce. Serve that rich golden Welsh Rabbit on toast points and listen to the raves. It's a gala dish any day of the week. A smart dish to serve any time of the day or night because Velveeta is as digestible as milk itself. When you're serving the whole gang for a party, you'll want to double the recipe. 1 pound of smooth melting Velveeta to 1/2 cup of milk. So buy Velveeta in the 2-pound loaf and have plenty for snacks and sandwiches, too, all week. Everybody loves Velveeta's rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And every Velveeta snack, every Velveeta hot dish gives the family important nutrients from milk. So, smart shoppers, head your market list tomorrow with the word Velveeta. Well, the great Gildersleeve is a mighty worried man. He has just one thing on his mind, no matter where he is. At the office.
The duel. How do I get into these things?
At night in bed.
Am I handy with a gun? Why, I can't even shoot a water pistol.
And the following morning on his way to work.
Cecil Revenant II. Why doesn't he go soak his head in a mint julep? He would be an expert shot. Well, why should I worry? Whole thing is ridiculous. People don't fight duels anymore. I don't think.
Gildy.
Huh? Oh, hello, Judge.
What are you talking to yourself for? What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
Yes, there is, Gildy. There's something on that so-called mind of yours.
Horace, I should have my head examined.
I'll go along with that. What have you managed to get yourself into this time?
Well, you know Adeline Fairchild.
Yes, I'm acquainted with the lady. Of course, I haven't been as close to her as you have.
All right, Judge. If you don't want to listen.
Go on, Gildy. I'm all ears.
You sure are, you old goat. Anyway, Adeline used to have a boyfriend in Savannah, Cecil Revenall, one of those hot-blooded Southerners.
What's the matter? Are you jealous of him, Gildy?
No, he's jealous of me.
What?
Well, he is. He's so jealous he might come up here and challenge me to a duel.
Oh, that's ridiculous, Gildy. You know people don't fight duels nowadays.
Yes, I know it, but does Cecil know it? You can't trust a man who bows from the waist.
I assure you, Gildy, from my long experience in jurisprudence, you have nothing to worry about.
Oh?
Dueling is absolutely illegal. And if this young firebrand should be rash enough to shoot you, he'd be violating the state code, statute 489, section 7.
Oh, that's fine, Judge.
I give you my solemn promise I'll prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. Well, I'll fight this thing right up to the Supreme Court.
Oh, brother.
What's the matter, Gildy?
A fine friend you are. My life is in danger, Horace. I thought as my legal advisor you might tell me what to do.
Well, if I were you, I'd make out a will.
Oh. This may be funny to you, Judge, but you're not in my shoes. Why, any minute this fellow might pop out from behind a tree, bow, and take a shot at me. What do you think of that?
Well, I don't see how I could miss you, Gildy. You make an awful big target.
Booker! Good morning, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to talk to you.
I'll be with you in just a minute, as soon as I finish sorting out these Christmas cards.
Christmas cards?
These are a few I had left from last year. Would you care to look them over, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Peavy, this is only March.
Yes, but if you don't mind a suggestion, it might be wise to shop early for them and avoid the holiday rush.
Oh. I'm in no mood to look at Christmas cards.
Well, they're very nice cards. Now, here's one that has a rather touching sentiment. It's called To a Distant Relative at Christmas Time.
Peavy!
I know we two are separated by miles and miles of land. So I'm shouting, Merry Christmas, I think you're simply grand.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I thought it was rather nice.
Oh.
Now, here's one.
Look, Peavy, I want to talk to you.
Well, go right ahead.
Well, Peavy, what would you do if somebody challenged you to a duel?
A duel? What for?
Well, let's say over a woman.
What woman?
Well, suppose somebody challenged you to a duel over Mrs. Peavy.
Mrs. Peavy? Well, I don't think anybody do that.
All right, then. Suppose it was any woman. The grocer's wife.
Well, I wouldn't try to duel over her. I hardly know her.
Peavy!
Well, let the grocer fight his own battle.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
What did he ever do for me?
Peavy, this has nothing to do with you. I'm the one that might have to fight the duel.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, you're joking.
No, I'm not. And a woman got me into it.
Who, the grocer's wife?
Oh.
Well, fighting a duel might prove rather risky. If I were you, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'd get out of it.
That's what I want to do, Peavy, but how can I?
Well, I'd just start buying my groceries at some other store.
Peavy, grocer's wife. He's a big help. Well, why should I get upset about this duel? Silly. Thing for me to do is stop worrying about it and Floyd's barber shop. Hope I can get by without him seeing me. I don't feel like talking to him.
Hey, come here.
Uh-oh, too late.
Come here.
I'm in a hurry, Floyd.
I want to talk to you. It'll only take a minute.
All right.
Come on in.
What is it, Floyd?
How do you feel, Commish?
Huh?
Are you holding up all right?
What do you mean?
It's all right, Commish. You don't have to pretend with me. The judge told me all about this affair la honor.
What?
You know, the duel.
Oh, that.
When does it come up?
Floyd, I'd rather not talk any more about it.
Oh, I get it. Gentlemen don't talk about them things, huh? The dueler's code.
Dueler's code.
Yeah, I seen it in the movies lots of times. The trouble always starts over some dame.
Look, Floyd,
First thing you know, Earl Flynn walks up to some guy, smacks him in the face with his glove, and they exchange calling cards.
Floyd, I don't want to...
And then it's pistols at dawn. And there they are out in the cow pasture somewhere with their seconds. Now the two guys is pacing off. 8, 9, 10. They turn and fire. Bang! Yoy! Bang!
Floyd!
Then one of them don't get up. He just lays there, shot through the gizzard. Dum, tum, ta-dum, tum, ta-dum, ta-dum.
Floyd, I'll see you later.
Good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, good morning, Bessie.
You look pale, Mr. Gildersleeve. Is something wrong?
Pale? No, I'm all right, Cecil. I mean, Bessie.
You seem a little nervous.
Nervous? Not at all. Huh? Well, guess I'll go into my office. Bessie, if anybody wants to see me, I'm out.
Yes, sir.
Keep calm, Gildersleeve. Cecil Revenaw's not coming up here. Of course not. I'm not worried. Wonder how long it takes to get here from Savannah. Might even be here in Summerfield right now. Might just take a peek out the window. Let's see. Nope. Don't see anybody with sideburns. Might as well sit down. Rest for a minute. Didn't sleep a wink last night thinking about this thing. Pistols at dawn. I can't even get up at 8 o'clock. Yeah. Well, maybe the whole thing will blow over. Judge is right. People don't fight duels anymore. Besides, it's against the law. State Code 480. Who's that? Who is it?
It's me, Mr. Gildersleeve, Bessie.
Oh, come in, Bessie.
Mr. Gildersleeve?
What is it, Bessie?
A man was just here to see you.
A man?
Yes, a real Southern gentleman. He bowed from the waist and handed me this calling card.
Let me see it. Cecil Revenaugh, Insurance.
He wrote something on the other side.
Let's see. I'll meet you on the field of honor, you Yankee. Pistols at dawn.
Goodbye, Unky.
Goodbye, Marjorie, my dear.
Gee, Unky, I have to fight this duel.
Yes, Leroy. It's a matter of honor.
Can't you have breakfast before you go, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, Bertie. The duel is at dawn. I'll have breakfast when I come back.
Yes, I hope so.
Well, goodbye, little family.
Goodbye, Unc.
Au revoir.
Bertie, if anything should happen to me, promise me you'll take care of the children.
Yes, sir.
You won't forget now.
No, sir. You don't have to tell Bertie more than once because I listen.
Okay, Bertie.
When somebody talks to me, you know what I do?
Yes, of course, Bertie.
That's right, I listen.
Well, Peavy, I'm going out to fight that duel now.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm sorry to see you go.
Thank you, Peavy.
Always hate to lose a customer.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's a little Christmas card to cheer up your last moments.
What?
I thought you might enjoy the sentiment. It's called To a Friend Who Won't Be With Us for the Holidays.
Oh! Don't you worry, Peavy. I'll be here when the holidays roll around.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, Commish, here we are on the field of honor.
Yeah?
There's that guy Cecil over there waiting for you. Say, he looks just like Earl Flynn.
Floyd, maybe we could call this duel off for a few days.
What? And violate the duelist code?
You,
Oh, Adeline.
Isn't this exciting? You and Cecil fighting a duel over little old me. Throckmorton,
Yes.
I'm going to miss you.
I hope Cecil does.
Well, Commish, this is it. Gentlemen, take your places. Back to back. Pistols in the air.
Cecil, can't we talk this thing over?
Start pacing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Goodbye,
5,
little
6,
family.
7, 8, 9, 10. Fire.
Bang! Yeah! You got me.
Throckmorton, speak to me. Throckmorton.
Now, Throckmorton, wake up. Throckmorton.
What's that? I'm shot. Little boogle.
Shame on you, sleeping at your desk like this.
Huh? Oh, then there wasn't any duel?
Duel? What are you talking about, Throckmorton? I just had to come up to your office to tell you something.
What's that?
I just got another letter from Cecil, and do you know what to think? He isn't jealous of you anymore.
He isn't?
He met some giggling little thing at the cotillion and fell head over heels in love.
He did?
Yes, he did, and I'll never speak to that cat again.
He sounds pretty worthless, all right.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I won't have you speaking about Cecil that way.
Huh?
Remember, he's a southern gentleman.
Pardon me, folks. This is where I came in.
The Great Gildersleeve will be right back. Homemakers, for Lenten meals, for economy meals, any day of the week, get Kraft's nutritious, smooth, melting cheese food Velveeta. Spread or slice Velveeta's golden goodness thick for lunchtime sandwiches. Melt Velveeta for a smooth sauce that's swell on seafood or eggs and on leftover meat such as ham or chicken or veal. Those good-eating Velveeta main dishes help supply high-quality, complete protein and other precious milk nutrients. And they're money savers. So for sandwiches and for cooking, get Velveeta in the 2-pound loaf. A big help with Lenten meals. A big help with the budget, too.
Dear Diary, I have just one thing to say tonight. I've learned my lesson this time. Adeline and I are through. Absolutely through. Believe me, dear Diary, I'll never...
Excuse me, telephone.
Oh? Who's it from, Bertie?
Miss Adeline Fairchild.
Oh? Well, maybe I'll give her one more chance. Good night, dear Diary. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. Adeline Fairchild by Miss Una Merkel. The show was written by Gene Stone and Jack Robinson with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wall saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Tomorrow night, Edward G. Robinson will be Al Jolson's guest on the Kraft Music Hall, heard over most of these NBC stations. Don't miss it. Remember, tomorrow night. For exact time, see your local paper. And be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
The next time you have to fix a hurry-up lunch, open a package of Kraft Dinner. And in a twinkling, you can have a piping hot dish of macaroni and cheese. Each package of Kraft Dinner contains special macaroni that cooks fluffy light and tender in just 7 minutes. And golden Kraft grated that you stir in for a grand cheddar cheese flavor. 2 magic ingredients for making delicious macaroni and cheese at a cost of only a few cents more than a package of macaroni alone. For a quick, easy, economical main dish, get Kraft Dinner from your food store tomorrow.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.